So today's word for your one word is commit. Yesterday was focus, today is commit. Commitment is crucial when you choose that word for 2019. When you commit to something for 2019, you're going to have a long-lasting effect on it that hopefully goes years and years down the road. But you got to commit to that one word this year, this 2019. A lot of people, again, resolutions aren't lasting. Those are easy to give up. But when you commit to something, when you fully take something on and own it, fully committed, you make it yours. You make it more real, and you allow yourself to accomplish those dreams and accomplish those goals that you didn't think were possible before. But by staying committed, now you give yourself a fighting chance, even against something that's impossible. When you've been told no, when someone says you can't do it, if you stay committed to the process, you stay committed to the work, now you open up the opportunity for yourself to successfully complete the task. So we got to commit. Again, alarm goes off this early this morning. Tired, it's Thursday, there's snow out on the ground. Alarm goes off. Are you committed to the day? Or do you have the thoughts running through your head of everything you hate about the day already? It hasn't even got started, but you already, I can't wait to not be in this class. I hate the fact that I got to turn this in today. I hate the fact that I got maybe work going on later today, or my teacher or friend's been pissed at me and I got to go see him at school in the hallway. How do you wake up? Do you wake up committed, or do you wake up uncommitted and end in hiding? It starts then, just like your focus does. Your commitment starts the moment you wake up and the alarm goes off. First of all, it's a sign of commitment if the alarm goes off and you don't press a stop. If you hit snooze, that's probably I'll get it done later. I'll wake up later. That's not really committing to starting the day, right? That's committing to stay uncommitted. And that's not a commitment. Committing to stay uncommitted is not a commitment. So you start off right in the middle of the day, or right when you wake up. You are up and ready to go. You are committed to the day. You have good commitment thoughts. You get things done that you need to get done in the morning, whether it be do your meditations, read a book, get your coffee, whatever it is, you're committed to the process right away. I don't know if any of you heard of Desmond Doss. Desmond Doss, the movie Hacksaw Ridge. Any of you ever seen that? Okay, really good movie about Desmond Doss back in the World War times, but more specifically, the movie centers around the Battle of Okinawa. Okay, when our troops went over there, and he was one of them. Now, he wasn't a troop per se. He was a medic. He was a guy who was there to make sure the wounds were treated, the guys who were shot got safety, limbs were cut off smoothly if they needed to be cut off or whatever, reattached, whatever it needed to happen. He was the medic. He was the guy who was there to save them. But he had this weird, well, not weird thing, but he had this thing about him that he didn't want to carry a gun. He wanted to be in battle as a medic, but not carry a gun, which meant he was pretty much a walking target everywhere he went. He had no way to defend himself. If he got caught or he was all of a sudden confronted with an enemy right in front of him, he had nothing to stop him from being shot or killed or captured, nothing. But he was okay with that. He got made fun a ton of for, hey, why don't you carry a gun? Just carry a gun. Just you don't even have to shoot it. Just carry a gun in case you run into that situation. So that way you're prepared and you're ready to go. He said, no, I don't believe in that. He had a great belief and he had a great faith about him that he thought, this is an opinion that I'm committed to. I'm committed to being against necessary violence, even though I'm in a war. I'm committed to not be holding a gun, and I'm not going to shoot people down. I just want to help people. That's what he was committed to. And so that's how he lived his life and in this movie. It also didn't help the fact that he was all 5'10", and probably 125, 30 pounds, soaking wet. Like he was a rail. He was a rail. So not only is this guy a quote-unquote soldier, he's the medic, which means in that time, and what we think of medic, we don't think of them as a real soldier, even though they're giving up their life and sacrificing their time. But he was a medic, and he didn't want to carry a gun, and he was small and frail. He got made fun of a ton for being that guy. But came out months later that he would prove to hold his commitment true to his people and to his beliefs and to his faith. So in the Battle of Okinawa, they're up in a battle up on top of this cliff. The only way to retreat is by going and climbing down a cliff. Pretty crazy scene. You'll see a quick clip in a second. But battle's going crazy. Guerrilla warfare was huge because bombs would pop up, grenades would be there. You step on one false thing and bam, you're blowing up. You're dead. They would be guys hiding underneath rocks. They disguise themselves as the landscape and scenery, and then pop up and shoot you. That was the guerrilla warfare that they were facing. And so it was a really, really tough time. Really tough time for our American soldiers. And one night after one battle, and after a lot of mass destruction, Medic Doss decided to go around and make sure he helped as many as he could. And started with one, because that was his job. He said, I'm a medic, I'm here to help people, save people. And he said, I'm going to start with one. So he started with one person, grabbed them, helped them, brought them to safety, had to create almost like a system with a rope to lower them down the side of a cliff. Okay, this isn't a machine, he's doing it by his hand, so he's sitting up, holding a rope, letting the rope slowly go down so the guy can get to safety. Then he brought the rope back up and then did it again, and then again, and then again, and then again. And then 75 times later, he had saved 75 soldiers, wounded soldiers that night after the Battle of Okinawa. 75. 75, that's commitment. He was committed to doing his job because he had a belief in what he had to do and why he had to do it. And he didn't do it because he was like, maybe I'll help these guys because these guys helped me, and I won't help them because they made fun of me for not carrying a gun. He helped every single one because that's how committed he was. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor, which is a really high honor, obviously, for a soldier, especially for a medic. It's not something you'd see a lot of times. A medic could get recognized over a soldier. But he was a hero, a national hero for what he did, and it only came from his commitment. That's where it came from. That inside his heart, his commitment to the job. And so that was an outstanding story, and I encourage you to take a look at the movie if you could. A couple things that commitment is not. Commitment is not a pledge. I know we gave the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. We do that every morning. It's something you should do and take pride in. But commitment isn't necessarily a pledge, because a pledge can kind of just be something we recite and something we just do to do. I pledge to wake up every morning and at 7 o'clock and go for a run. Or I pledge to eliminate sugar from my diet. Or I pledge to get all my homework done by 9 o'clock. Like, we can pledge a lot of things, right? But pledges tend to be broken sometimes a lot easier. So a commitment is not a pledge. Okay, it's not just reciting words to say, I will do this. A commitment goes beyond that. Doss could have said, hey, I commit to serving and saving my fellow countrymen. But he had to do it. He couldn't just pledge to do it. He couldn't just solemnly go in front of his captain and say, I pledge to be the greatest medic and save as many people as I can. They'd want to know, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it, Desmond? He did it. So commitment is not a pledge. It's not a pledge. Commitment also isn't whimsical. Whimsical meaning, I'll just commit to this. You wake up one day, I'm going to commit to running a marathon next month. Okay, slow down. Slow your roll there. Hot shot. Whimsical is, commitment is not whimsical because it's not just, you hear people say, don't do it on a whim. Or I did it on a whim. I decided, I'm going to go skydiving tomorrow. And I did it on a whim just because all of a sudden I thought and I'm going to do it. Be careful with that. Because sometimes if we don't think our commitment's through, we can say yes to everything. We can say, yeah, I'll commit to that, I'll commit to that, I'll commit to this, I'll commit to that, and then we have ourselves committed to 90 different things. That's why you see parents running around like crazy now because they got to drop the kid off to this event, and then they got to take them to this thing, and then they got this on this Wednesday, and then it's like, man, when do you settle down? When do you not have anything to do? So don't commit on a whimsical notion that you should just do it just because. Okay, you can't say yes to everything. You can't do it just because it seems trending at the time. Desmond Doss committed to something because he had firm belief in it, not because it was just a cool little thought he had, or it was because it was the latest thing happening around his culture and his city. So don't commit whimsically. And the third, commitment is not inconsistent. I think you get that, but commitment isn't, I do it today, I don't do it tomorrow. That's not commitment. I am happily and newly married, obviously. My wife would not like it if I committed to her every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I said, all right, we're not married, we're not committed. She goes, what? Like you vowed to me and said, I'm going to commit to you. So commitment is not inconsistent. It's not just every other day. It's not just when you feel like it. Commitment is an all the time, everyday thing. That's why it's tough. I mean, I enjoy working out, but I know I have to be committed to it. If I'm not consistent, you don't get the results, right? If you want to be the best soccer player in the world, you can't just commit to doing it every other day when you feel like it, because if you do it when you feel like it, you're not going to get any better. Okay? You're just going to be, you're going to leave yourself lots of room for improvement because you didn't stop, or you didn't improve yourself. So commitment is not inconsistent. It's not an every so often type thing. What commitment is, though, is that things. Commitment is engaged. When you commit to something, you are engaged. That's why they call it an engagement when you get engaged to somebody someday. And you are committed to that person. You are saying, I commit to marrying you and staying with you till death do us part. When you commit to something, be engaged with it. So when you pick your one word, you're engaged with it. The decisions you make are impacted by that word you chose. The way you live your life is impacted by the word you chose. The way you talk to your friends, the way you use social media, the way you go about your job, the way you work with your family, the way you just watch TV is all about that word. You are committed to it. You are engaged with it. So be engaged this year with that one word you chose. And that's full commitment. And then finally, commitment is real. Commitment is real. You cannot conquer what you are not committed to. T.D. Jakes, he's a very famous speaker, he said that. You cannot conquer what you are not committed to. If you aren't committed to it, you won't be able to make sure that one word you chose this year comes to fruition. I will not be able to develop if I don't commit to it and if I don't conquer that commitment obstacle in front of me. I can have all the desire in the world, but it's not going to help me accomplish it if I'm not committed to it. Vince Lombardi had this saying. He said, most people fail not because of lack of desire, but because of lack of commitment. Like, that's what gets people, not their desire. Like, I get some of you want to be really great professionals someday. Some of you want to succeed. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone has that desire. But you have the commitment to back up that desire. So when you choose your word this year for 2019, you can't just say, hey, I desire to be more positive. No, you have to be committed to being more positive in everything you do and the way you live your life. So take that into account. You got to make it real, because I don't want it to be a burden. I want you to make it real and whole, because I don't want it to be a burden. I don't want it to be like your backpack you put on and that's 50 pounds. You're like dragging it along. Like, this is heavy, man. My back's starting to wear out. The commitment shouldn't be that. Commitment is good. Discipline is good. It really is. Most people don't think it is. They get negative thoughts when they think of discipline and commitment. But commitment is good. It keeps us on track. It keeps us on the straight and narrow. It keeps us from right and wrong. It keeps us from not fully living up to our potential. Commitment is good. So understand that it's not a burden. When you're committing to this word, when you're committing to something in life, it's not a burden. It's helping you. It's making you stronger. It's making you more powerful. And it's whole. You are wholly committed, or you're unwholly committed. You're either 1 foot, 2 feet in, or you're 1 foot out, and half and half is not commitment. You can't be 75% committed and 25% uncommitted and call that commitment. It's 100% commitment, or it's none. It's kind of the all or nothing mentality. So when you're committed to something, you are wholly invested into it. It's like you gave all your money and put it down on this word, this thought, this process of getting yourself better. You have everything to lose if you don't fulfill it. So don't play the game of I'll half commit to it. I'll half give effort. When I sign up for something, I'll half do it. If you're fully committed to it, you are wholly into it. Now understand too. Anybody watch the series Lost? Anybody see it? Okay. A little bit. Lost is an interesting series. It's a mind bender, and it has a frustrating ending. It frustrated me when I saw the ending. I remember watching it when it was like on TV, not just binge watching it when it came on every week on ABC. But you're going to be lost this year, 2019. I'm not telling you anything new you haven't gone through in 2018 or 17 or 16. You're going to get lost this year. You're going to have that one word, and you're going to stray away from it for a day, a week, a month. You will. You will. I'm telling you right now. You're going to have days where you're like the other gift day. You're going to be like, maybe some days I'm into it, some days I'm not into it. It's going to happen. going to happen. You got to be okay with that and then come back to it. You can't just say, man, I was lacking. I made a couple bad decisions that didn't help me because I didn't use my one word as my go-to source for making that decision. You know, I better just give up on it. Let me rip my poster up and let me create a new word. You can't do that. You can't do that. You will stray from it. You will sometimes get lost. You will go blind and forget what that word is for you this year. You will not do well with it. But when you got to come back, you got to come back. Okay? Don't let that be the deciding factor of you giving up. I don't want to see you give up on the word. It's a long year. It's a long year. So don't get lost. But know that you will get lost. That makes sense to you too. Don't try to get lost, but you will probably get lost at least once or twice this year with that word. Keep pursuing. 3 things I would tell you to do with commitment. Okay? 3 final things. Have confidence. If you are confident, you will be committed to it more and more. Like when you feel confidence in yourself and your thoughts and your abilities, like you stick to things more so. When you're having a good day at soccer and you're feeling confident, like, man, I want to keep playing, I want to keep getting better and better and better and better. You naturally do that. We as humans naturally want to stick with something that we feel more confident in. Okay? But confidence comes from 2 things. 2 things I firmly believe in. It comes from your belief, first of all. Confidence comes from your belief. If you don't have belief in yourself, in the situation, in your purpose, you won't be committed to it. So you have to have belief. That's why Desmond Doss did what he did. He had a belief to him. Okay? And that was both spiritual in his Lord and Savior, and also the belief in his job in being a medic. And then second, it comes from preparation. You've heard me say this before, but if you are prepared, everything takes care of itself. Confidence will be abounding in you. When I go take my team through our pre-game warm-up, an hour before the game, we do everything as best we can because we know if we prepare really well, we'll have loads of confidence heading into the game. So confidence comes from your preparation belief. Finally, you got to embrace the process too with it. Embrace the process. 2019 is a long year. A long year. So the word you are committing to is not, again, just for this week or next week or the month. It's the year. So embrace the process. Embrace the journey of going and love going on it. Embrace the highs, the lows you're going to have with this word. Embrace the tough times. Embrace the times when you get told no. Embrace the times when you suck at it and you fail miserably with your one word. You know, maybe your word is happiness and you have 5 straight days where you are unhappy and you have a piss poor attitude. Like embrace those days because that's going to help you embrace being happier when you get back to it. So embrace the process this year of 2019 with that word. Own it. No, it's going to take you on lots of curves and bends and ups and downs. And then finally, get some corner support. If you've ever seen the movies Rocky, you know, Creed, the new ones that came out, or Southpaw, or you watch the boxing match, those are dying matches now. You don't see boxing as popular as it used to be when like it was Tyson or Muhammad Ali back in the day. But when you see them finish the round, the bell goes off. Where do they go? You know, this fighter goes to his corner and the other fighter goes to their corner. And what do? They sit down and they'll see. They have a couple trainers taking care of their bloodied face and nose. They have a trainer giving them water and hydrating them. Maybe another trainer rewrapping their hands. And they have their coaches talking to them. Hey, when he does his left hook, make sure you do this. Or get him pinned in this position and you got him. Just go at him, attack him. He's hurting here in his ribs. You have a coach telling them that. They have 4 or 5 people usually surrounding them, giving them that support. So you got to have your corner. If you're going to stay committed to something and committed to this word in 2019, you got to be able to go to your corner and have a corner of support, just like a boxer does. And then when the bell rings, they go out there and they fight the fight, but they know when they go back, after fighting the fight, living their day, going through a tough period in life, they know they got people there for them. It might be 1 person right now. It might be 2. Honestly, it might be 1 or 2 right now, and you will add 1 or 2 more this upcoming year of people you don't even know yet. There might be somebody that will be in your corner by the end of 2019 that you don't even know yet. So give yourself that opportunity to meet that person. But you got to have that corner. You got to have those people that are going to support you and then say, get back in there and beat them. And usually that other opponent isn't another individual. It's life. It's work. It's school. It's your misfortunes. It's the hard times. That's who you're fighting against. and you got to have that corner support to stay committed to your goals, to stay committed to your work. Commit to this. You remember this is my one word. I signed it. There's a reason I signed it, because I want to make sure I was committed to it. And the fact that I laminated it means I cannot erase my name now and be like, I'm not fully committed to that. I have to fully commit to my one word because I signed it. I'm on the dotted line, so to speak. It's signed, it's sealed, and I have to commit. And there's no going back because I laminated it. So fully commit to this one word for this.